wood hammer from a 3/4 inch T-fitting. So here's my 3/4 inch T-fitting. Just gonna bust that out of the package. Chuck it up into the vise here. So I'm using my Dremel to cut little grooves in the threads, kind of get a dye effect on it. You see I got 4 slots there. I'm just getting some oak firewood blocks I got out of my stack here. See, this one's cracked, but it's still got enough in it. I'm just getting my max height on my saw blade and marking it on my block here. Carry it over to my thickness planer. I'm gonna run this thing through and plane it down. I'm just going to square up my edges here. Run that opposite end through the planer to get a square edge on the other side. I'm just trying to get the most yield out of this block. There's a big crack down there. It looked like the sapwood. I chiseled it out. And there I got my blank. I'm going to run all 4 sides through the planer. Now I'm just 45 in the corners off here. Get me a better circular shape. This is my dowel jig. It's an 1.5 inches to a 1 inch hole. And the blade's up right before it comes down to 1 inch. I just got a screw chucked in my drill and I ran that through the center of my blank here. So I get it going about medium speed on the drill. I don't want to go too fast. And it'll feed in there pretty decent. I'll pull it out and check it. It seems to be doing pretty decent. Trying to get a pretty decent tenon on this thing so I can thread it into the T-fitting. Just a little bit of sanding while it's still on the drill. Go ahead and cut this thing off, and my tenon's quite a bit longer than I need it. I'm just going to do a little sanding here. I'm going to put it in the vise. I use the non-tap threads to kind of get the threads started. So I got my adjustable wrench on here to help me thread this thing down. Just took this thing out. It started cutting pretty decent threads. So I cut it down to the length I needed. Go ahead and clean it up on the belt sander. Just thread her in there. The adjustable wrench was doing okay. It kept kind of slipping off there, so I put one of my clamps on there, and I seemed to hold quite a bit better. So that cap was in there pretty decent. It's not coming out without any mechanical help. It's a good tight fit. So I left a lot of extra on there so I could sand it down. I wanted it to be flush with that raised part of the T-fitting. So I got the second one done doing the same method, and I'm just going to clean this up on the belt sander. Just get the surfaces flat and kind of round over the edges just a little bit. So here I took that other half of that block and spun it down about 14 inches long. Here I'm just screwing the handle in, and it was a tight fit. You notice I left a lot of extra on the end. I wasn't too sure how much of a knob I wanted to leave on the end. So I cut the excess off on the end, and I left about an inch knob on the end. And I really like that octagon look, so I left that. And here I'm just going to clean that up, clean the surfaces up with the belt sander, just kind of round over a lot of the edges. And that's it. That's my hammer. So it was a pretty fun project. Thank you guys for tuning in to Woodworking for Vets. Please hit that like and subscribe button. I'll see you at the next video.